Welcome to a special edition of the Teed Up Podcast.
Yes, sir.
This time we are live on site at Market The Ave Vintage. This is our first live show that we've ever done with people in the background.
Familiar face right
familiar
here.
face for sure. Go ahead, take it over.
Man, let me stand up first, man.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
guys, man, for pulling up, man.
Come on now.
Of course,
y'all
bro.
gotta show the love, man. Teed Up, pulled up, man, and showed out today, man. We appreciate y'all coming through, man. But yeah, bro, we just trying to get the vibes going today, man. Market The Ave. You see the sign in the back. Stop playing, man. We trying to turn the city up, man.
Come on,
But yeah, we
man.
got a little bit over 20 vendors today pulling up. Man, we got music, art, backyard barbecue vibes. You
on
feel
now.
me?
Yeah.
Pull up, y'all, man. Appreciate y'all coming out, bro.
Yes, sir. Good vibe.
And
Good
it's
vibe.
always love, man.
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure y'all follow, like, and subscribe. Teed Up, man.
Teed Up.
Yeah.
Market
Yes,
The
sir.
Ave, man. Boy, you late. Swan Spick, man. We going up, man. It's a movie, man. Phoenix, turn up. Let's go. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Appreciate you again, bro.
There you go, bro.
We got our first guest of the day, Miss Sabrina. You came here. How do you know Swans?
John is actually one of my really good friends. My husband and him have been best friends since high school, and so that's how we know each other. And I remember years ago when he would do his pop-ups with the vintage stuff, we would always go. So I'm finally here now with my own brand. But yeah.
Talk about that. We see you got your own little tent here. What's the brand? What's the business? But tell the people.
Okay. Yeah, so my brand's called Creatively Linked. It's all about women empowerment, just spreading love. I feel like as women, we tear each other down a lot, so I wanted to create something that was just for us and just spreading love on that. We have some men apparel too, because some of our shirts are unisex. And then we do have little family packs with baby tees and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of a little short snippet of what my brand is.
How long have you been doing your brand for?
I officially launched November 2021. So a little over a year. I'm like, what year is it now?
I know. That's how it's getting.
But yeah.
So for me personally, I just kind of want to get into the logistics because, I've started a little clothing brand on my own and I know how that can be. What got you started into wanting to make a clothing brand?
Yeah, so when I was young, I actually I had the mission when I was little, honestly. I have notebooks having my ideas and stuff, so that kind of always sparked it. And then growing up, I feel like it wasn't I feel like nowadays women are more we're supporting each other and there's more uplifting things as I've grown up. So it's cool to see, but it wasn't around when I was younger. So but that's kind of what started it, and then I ended up deciding to launch the brand, and yeah. kind of.
And is this your brand that you have on right now?
Yeah.
So I'm a Christian myself, and I really like the message that you have on your shirt.
That's
What is there gospel inspired?
Yeah.
Within your brand?
Yeah, so I have a few, my main one I started with it's called Created for More, and that's just about basically just being created for more than what the world places on us, what people put on us, we're just created for way more than that.
Yeah.
And then this Still Here All God is just basically addressing everything that could have taken you out in life, and you're still here, you survived it, cancer, depression, anything So that's kind of where this happened from. But yeah, it is. Some of my shirts are based on Christian
That's
values.
cool. And are there any goals that you have for your brand in the next few years?
Yeah, doing more pop-up shops. This is actually my fourth one, so just
This
being
year?
more active. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
It's only
doing.
February too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just being more out there. So thank you guys for allowing me to be on here. I've never done a podcast, so really
Of
appreciate that.
Of course. My last question for you is talk about kind of the behind the scenes. What's the hardest thing that you've gone through with your clothing brand, and then what's the most rewarding thing that you've gone through with your clothing brand?
Okay, so the hardest thing I feel is since I'm making it, I do the heat press and everything, kind of creating the design and then putting it on the item, and then making sure I'm putting out a good quality product, which means doing wash tests and stuff. And I've done that many times where the thing wasn't adhering right or it wasn't working. So that was the biggest challenge, and I finally was able to figure it out and get them
Perfecting your craft.
Yeah. And then most rewarding is honestly like coming to the not the podcast, coming to the pop-up shops and just like interacting with people and like just seeing what some of my sayings mean to people. It's really awesome to just hear like what it means and what they think it brings to their life. And it like I've honestly like talked and met so many amazing people and had like their perspective on it that I was just like, it is a God thing, honestly. So but yeah, that's the most rewarding.
Yeah, well, go ahead and shout your brand out one more time, and then thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
of course.
So yeah, Creatively Linked. Follow me. My Instagram is Creatively Linked, and hope to see you guys there.
All right, we on with my brother T, man.
Yo.
Yes, sir. First of all, before we get started into the interview, introduce yourself, introduce your brand, talk about it.
Yeah, my name's T. Brand is With Death Comes Life. It's a traditional and upcycled streetwear brand based out of here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd be doing thrifted stuff, little vintage stuff, and then I also do some wholesale.
How long have you had your brand for, bro?
2 years now. Yeah, 2 years. November 28th, 2021 is the day I started it.
And what's the inspiration behind the brand, behind the name?
So it's kind of a brand that kind of, it's meant to promote change and help people cope with change. You know what I'm saying? So they say like when one door closes, another one opens. So I'm just kind of trying to shine light on that philosophy and that concept.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for the most part. Yeah.
I mean, we was chopping it just a little bit up earlier about it. You very intelligent, especially in the fashion game. But what pushed you to, I guess, go and want to start your own company, start your own business?
Well, I've been wanting to have a brand for a minute, and there's a few things I kind of tried to get off the ground.
Yeah.
And, a couple names of brands I wanted to try.
Yeah.
And nothing I really felt comfortable standing behind until I came across With Death Comes Life, and yeah, once I found that name, I kind of knew it was game time, and I just made a couple samples, and just wore them out to the bars and just like out and about, and just saw if it got some love, and sure enough, a lot of people are kind of asking me, yo, like, what is this? Where'd you get it from? So that was kind of like my push, like let's do this.
That gets you really
get it
going.
So from there, it was just little drop. I did just like my typography stuff, big on the back, big on the front, and just kind of ran and started doing markets, and yeah, here we are now.
Go ahead. What's the process been? I mean, growing your brand. I mean, obviously you have to start from ground zero, and then now you're here where you're at now. What's that process been like?
Man, it's a lot of research. I mean, I try to do everything I can like by myself. Right now, I screen print all my own stuff. I found this place called Airspace, and that's definitely helped elevate the brand and the experience for sure. They do membership-based screen printing, so people can go up there and print their own stuff, and we pretty much teach you how to screen print. All that stuff, so that's definitely helped, like, understand design and understand what's actually, what you can actually do with screen printing and graphics and stuff like that. And and then I just YouTube University.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you right now, if you don't know, if you got a question about anything, Google or YouTube or TikTok are the ways.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Absolutely.
Hey, but talk about, do you run it by yourself or do you got?
I do. It's just me. It's just me. I do everything by myself. I screen print myself, do my own graphics, stuff like that. I do some cut and sew stuff as well. So.
One man army.
So one man army for sure. Yeah,
that takes a lot of time, huh? A lot of dedication.
Yeah.
Hey, you looking fire right now. You drippy, bro. Talk about some people who have been inspirations to you in the fashion game that you look up to.
Yeah, man, definitely Verge. I mean, Verge is the go. I started the brand actually the day that he passed. So
really,
he was pretty much like the main drive of why I did this and why I finally took the step to like start the brand and stuff.
That's fine.
And then Kid Super, of course. I mean, I love what he's doing with the all over print, with like the paintings and stuff like that, and just his approach to fashion shows and his approach to doing content and stuff like that has been very inspirational for sure.
Is the shirt that you got on right now part of your brand?
This is me, So this is one of the latest drops. It's in the works right now. It's
tough.
The bulletproof vest tee. So it's got a little, vest on the front. It's got a back to it as well.
Talk about that also, because I know, especially with fashion, bro, your social media game has to be on point.
100%.
Yeah.
How has that been with you? How has that learning curve been?
It's definitely a learning curve. Learning curve is definitely a great word to use for it. I'm still figuring all that stuff out. I like to shoot a lot of vintage, like film and stuff like that. So I've been kind of trying to incorporate that with my social media stuff, and it's just trial and error. I'm definitely still getting.
Nah, I'm telling you right now, you could. From the shirt alone, you got the product to make it.
I'm definitely trying to be very intentional with this tee. I've only done little like sneak peek posts with it, but I'm trying to do some full on campaigns.
Is this your favorite product that you made so far? Or what's your favorite product?
Man, as of right now, I'd say this is probably one of my favorite ones.
It give me like that 2003 50 Cent.
Yeah, definitely. I've been getting a lot of the 50 Cent references for sure once I busted this tee out. But I'd say this is my favorite one. I also got a Lauryn Hill tee that I did. It's like an AOP Lauryn Hill tee.
I saw it. Is that the one that's back there? I saw that. That's tough.
I'd say that's probably one of my a close second for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Man, go ahead, shout your brand out again one more time.
Yeah, man, tap in. It's With Death Comes Life on everything, and www.withdeathcomeslife.com. And then if you want to tap into the personal, it's Tlaloc FBI, TLALOC FBI.
Yes, sir, my boy T. I appreciate you, bro.
Tap in.
Yes,
appreciate you, bro.
All right, we have our next brand owner of the day, Miss Hannah. Say hi to the people out there.
Hello.
Okay, so first of all, before we get it, shout out your brand.
Thank you.
What is your brand and how did you guys get started?
So it's called The Ineffable, and I've kind of always known, like, wanted to do my own thing, and I'm really into fashion and stuff. And so I was just looking, researching, and I was like, I don't know what to call this, and I found the word ineffable, which I just like how the way it sounds, but the definition is actually really cool. So it means something too great or extreme, you can't put it into words. So something indescribable, and I think everyone has that greatness in them. So my goal with my brand is to really make it meaningful and just be like a reminder to people that they are great and just embrace it.
Talk about that. What type of clothing is it for your brand? Is it for women? Is it for men? Is it unisex?
So it's unisex. I mean, the hoodies I have right now, both men and women wear it, but definitely more girls wear it. But like this is my hat, and men wear it too. But yeah, it's gonna be streetwear, and I'm hopefully gonna come out with a bunch of new stuff. Like I just have these hoodies and hats right now, but I'm just starting out. So
behind your designs, what are some inspirations that you have? Who are some people in fashion that you look up to?
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Trying to think. This is a tough question.
No, it is a tough question.
Pinterest is my inspiration, just for design wise. Like I love Pinterest. But yeah, I actually have a friend that does my graphic designing for me. So like I'll try and, I'm not good with technology, so I'll try and mock up something on Canva, and she just makes it like 100 times better and really gets my vision. And I think it's very special to work with your friends and just create some dope shit.
And what's the process behind getting your product out, behind selling your product? Do you have a website as well where you ship?
Yeah, so I just started a website. It's hopefully going to be finished in the next week. Yeah, so I'm going to do that, and I plan on doing more markets. But yeah, so I started my brand like in 2022, and then some life stuff happened, so I had to take a couple breaks this past couple of months. But now I'm back, and I'm ready to just grind and get my stuff out there.
Yeah. Talk about that. I mean, because I mean, you're still trying to get into the game.
Yeah.
And you know, like I have, because I have a brand as well. But talk about some of the day-to-day stuff. You know, what does it look like in the day of a person that's trying to get their stuff out there, trying to get people's eyes on it. Talk about
honestly, day-to-day, like I said, Pinterest. Like I'm always looking at inspiration. Social media is like just a great way to see some.
It's popping off right now.
And so I do that, and then I'm always like, my mind is always just running on like, what can I do that's gonna really make my brand different, and like I really need to work on getting my social media game up, which that I will admit I'm very bad at.
It's a process though.
It's a process. I mean,
starting a brand's definitely more challenging, or there's a lot of moving parts to it than I even considered.
And I think especially in today's age, especially if you look at like the last year and a half to 2 years, there's just been a boom in everyone trying to get their stuff out there. It's become really saturated.
Yeah, it's really saturated, and I'm just trying to have stuff that's different, and everything that I make is gonna have a deeper meaning and stuff. And so like this hat, it's not that deep of a meaning, but I have this tattoo that's the exact same, and I got it with my best friend, and I was just like, okay, this will look really cool. But my future stuff is definitely going to be a deeper meaning, and I just want it to be different and stand out.
Yeah, no, but it makes sense, because I know for me, especially like when I look at a brand, and a lot of times a brand is due to a trend. You know what I'm talking about? Like people will start a brand because they see like
other people having the
Yeah.
same.
like
Yeah.
for instance like the spider hoodie.
Yeah, yeah. It's like when that
is,
popped
like,
up,
yeah.
like you just saw like other people making stuff like that.
And it gets oversaturated.
Yes,
But then when you actually have a meaning to your brand and a connection to your brand, I feel like that makes you not want to focus on the
Right.
numbers, because a lot of people who do it for the trend, they're only in it for the money.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
But-
I
and-
totally agree
yeah.
with that. Like I said, I just want mine to be meaningful. Like obviously I want to make money and stuff, but I don't want to just do the trendy stuff. I want
It's
it
not
one
the
of
sole
a kind.
purpose.
Yeah.
Right. You want to make it more where it's
Yeah.
you. Like the brand,
The brand-
is you.
yeah, no,
You're an
totally.
extension. The brand is an extension
Yeah.
of you. Like obviously I can see where you have the tattoo. It's literally the
Right,
exact
yeah.
same thing on the hat, which is really
Yeah,
special.
so I just,
yeah.
and I'm just the type of person, like, I like things with, like, meaning and stuff, and, yeah, so that's just my goal, and I'm really excited to see where
I like that. Last question from me, at least. What's your biggest goal for the next year?
biggest goal for
coming
the
up?
next year. Well, small term, definitely get my website up and running and perfect how I want it.
Yeah.
My next goal, honestly, just to have, like, sorry, I'm freaking stuttering.
No, you're good.
No, you're good. You're good.
Hey.
Don't worry
Mouth
about
is
it.
getting dry. I'm nervous. But my biggest goal is to get products out frequently and like drops and new designs, like a couple every month, you know, and just really get on top of it, lock in, figure out how to do everything first, and then just once I figure that out, just really grind and try and get my products out.
Hey, look, baby steps will take you a
no,
long way.
baby steps for sure. We're working on it.
And one more thing, can you tell the people where they can find your brand at, where they can find information about it?
So our Instagram is the.ineffable.1ONE. And then, so Instagram, like I said, I'm going to work on it, social media, and just get stuff out. And then our website's going to be on there.
All right, guest number 2 of the show. We're here with George. Let's talk
sir.
about your business, talk about your brand, bro.
All right, I'm George. I'm the founder, the owner of Nastro, a small business in Arizona, started in Arizona. Yeah, that's about it for right now. I make custom rugs, custom tables. For now, later on, I'm thinking about making other stuff, but for now, it's rugs and tables.
Hey, talk about that. How'd you hear about, Market The Ave? Are you friends with John? Are you personally known with John? How did that get started?
I posted like my rug stuff on Instagram, and I got a message by
Swan.
by Boy Lake.
Boy Lake.
Yeah, they hit me up over there
Yeah.
like for the first event that they were having, and I was here. That was my first event too.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm open to it. So I did it. I started it. I came. It was good. It was good vibes everywhere. It was nice. There were dope people.
Yeah.
And that's.
Hey, talk
fire.
about that. How did you get into the rug making, aspect of it? Because that's a pretty unique thing that I think
It is.
a lot of people haven't really tapped into. Because them custom rugs are fire, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro. But it's a funny story, a little story. I cleaned my whole room, spot clean, and then I had no rug or anything. I was like, I'm gonna go get a rug, whatever.
Yeah.
So I looked up like rugs. Like I wanted a cool one. I didn't want like a normal
some
one
basic
everyone
shit,
has,
yeah.
So I was like, oh, whatever. So I go on YouTube or like TikTok and stuff, and I see a couple people, not too much people, making like their own stuff. I was like, yo, that's so fire.
Yeah.
And I'm like a person that creates stuff. I like if I see it in my head, I want it.
Yeah.
I like to see that I made it.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of videos, got into it, started it. At first, it wasn't no good. It was like, cause it's my first time,
Yeah, it's a learning process for sure.
Yeah, and I started it. It was going, and then now I like expanded from to rugs to tables, and now soon I want to get into clothing stuff. Like,
That's
stuff for
how
clothing.
how long does it take to make a rug? Like, what's the process like?
It would depend on the sizing. If you want a big one, it will take like 2 to 3 weeks. Or if you want like a small one, like that's like 1 or 2 feet.
Right.
That's like a easy like a week.
Yeah.
A week?
Yeah, it depends on like what picture you want to. Cause I could do mostly everything. I just can't do portraits.
Yeah,
I can't do portraits.
understand that for sure.
Yeah, I feel that.
Talk about that, because me personally, I mess with rugs. Like I follow a whole custom rugs page,
Yeah.
bro,
On TikTok?
Like,
Yeah.
on
Or on
Insta, low key.
Instagram?
But talk about that. What's the process behind making a rug? Like, what are the steps?
Because I've never done it before. I know they got the little gun and shit.
Yeah.
In the videos, it looks like it's a lot of steps. Like,
Yeah, it is a lot. It depends because there's a lot of people that do it different ways.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the way I do it. How I do it is like, you first have to build a whole frame because you could buy a frame, but they be taxing like online and stuff. They be taxing, so it's like the whole frame build is probably like $30-50. But it also depends how big you want the rug.
Yeah.
So if it's a big frame, you can fit a big rug there. The small one, you could like 1 or 2. You build the whole frame. You buy like the material. You put it on the frame. I have a projector. A lot of people have projectors. Some people hand free draw, which is cool. I can't. I'm not a very good artist. But I like painting though. But you like project the image, and then the gun. That's what you're talking about. You put yarn through there.
Yeah.
And then you put it in the frame, and you just keep going.
And it like shoots and cuts.
It cuts. There's 2 types of gun though. There's called the loop pile and a cut pile. I have the cut. That's like a rug one.
Yeah.
Like nice smooth. But there's also a loop pile where it loops the yarn, so it doesn't. It has a different texture. I like cut pile because it has like the way you shave it. Because you have to shave them. They all don't look like when you're done with it. You also have to put glue on the back. You have to add the backing. And you also, it's a lot of like.
Gotta let it dry.
It's a lot of time too. And a lot of people like, they don't, like they just shave it all even, which is fine, but it doesn't give it that pop. Like I think, I like to take my time on shaving the rug, and it gives it that nice like pop.
Like you like to get the real intricate details, like around like eyes.
That's what I love to do. That's what I like doing.
That's dope, bro.
Talk about that too, because we talked about the rugs. Like when you talk about you make tables, like custom tables with designs and stuff like that, or
the tables are different. The tables like it's all wood. Like I buy a whole wood thing. I had to paint it all white, and then I have like a saw, and I have to saw like the whole image, and then that's where the actual painting. Because I like painting. I grew up painting a lot, so I think like I love the art class and stuff like that, and I just keep painting. You just paint on it, and then the epoxy, like if you want it to shine, that's where the epoxy comes. That's where you have to wait like a whole 2 days, 3 days. That takes a long time.
It seems like to me you have like a really creative mind, bro. Like you've always, since a kid, you've just been really creative with drawing and painting and stuff like that?
As a kid, I did draw a lot. But I stopped for a while because I was like, I don't know, like. But now, like, I found a hobby. I think I love doing
hobby,
it, dude.
Bro, you want to perfect
I
your
love
craft,
doing it.
bro.
And I feel like I could get better, so I keep doing it over and over. And I think I'm getting way better now.
Well, last question from me, bro. What's the craziest piece or even your favorite piece that you made?
My favorite piece is probably because I only made myself like 2 rugs. I started 2 years ago. I had 2 years. 2 years I started. And I only, in those 2 years, I only made myself 2 rugs. And those are my favorite pieces. The first one I ever done was a dragon, because my favorite anime is Dragon Ball Z. And then I made, it was, the characters in there? There's a character named Goku and Broly. I love both of them. And I have the rug where it's like right there. And they're fighting. It's like an image of them fighting. And it's a big one. That was the first big rug I made too.
So it's like a really big piece there.
That's the biggest piece that I own.
Where do you have it? Like
I have it in my rug room because I have like a little office. I have my room. And I have a whole office like dedicated to my rugs, which it gets real messy in there. But that rug is like there. It's so messy. I had it since I that was like a year in when I started. And it shows you how I came from,
So shows all the work that you put in, bro. Go ahead, shout out your brand one more time.
My brand is Nastro on Instagram. It's Nastro with a underscore.
We'll pop it up in the page too.
And on YouTube, it's Nastro all caps. So if you want to follow the YouTube, I make a lot of content on there. So
Yes, sir. My boy,
thank you for joining us, bro. We appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yo, we're here with Boy You Late Vintage, one of the hosts of Market The Ave. Go ahead, talk about the process that went into this whole event, bro.
Yeah, man. Like you said, I'm one of the owners of Boy You Late, and my name is Mike. We partner with John Swan's Pick, to kind of provide something that we didn't think existed really, not in the sense of a market and commerce and people selling stuff, but more of a feeling and an experience that people can come and be a part of. So Swan and I have been going way back. I was a customer of his. I know he did your show talking about when he used to sell hats.
Yeah.
So I used to buy hats from Swan back in like 2009, 2010. So I've been knowing him since then. And so we would always run into each other and support each other. When we opened, we had a rack of his vintage in here. He was the first person we reached out to. So, just knowing each other and putting our brains together, our minds together, and creating something that we thought was necessary for the city, really.
Yeah, talk about that. We see you running around here taking flicks. Bro.
Yeah.
Talk about that too, because I didn't know that you were big with the camera, bro. How was that process, man?
Yeah, so that's my full-time job. I'm a full-time freelance photographer, and our sign is going down a little bit. I've been doing that since 2019, and man, it's just another medium as far as like art and expressing yourself. So that's how I got into it. Any event that we do, whether it's like just back to school event, we've done like a Sunday brunch. Any event that we do, you'll see me with my camera. A lot of the content that you see on the Boy Lake page, the Market The Ave page, comes from either my camera or somebody that we've hired that I trust. And, it's worked out because at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are trying to get at the same thing, but it's about, your perspective and how you can get that to come across.
Yeah.
And, same thing with podcasts. I think you guys do an awesome job of just showing people through your lens, and I think that's important. So that's what I try to do, man, with my camera.
No, that's definitely important too. I say, just from my part, it's just like, you don't want to have just one filtered point of view. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You want to have people from different perspectives come in, and I think that's what this event does a lot, because we just talking with a lot of the brand owners that we've talked to, they all have different reasons for why they started. But at the end of the day, it's their core love for art and the craft.
No question. Yeah, I think it's about your ethos, right? What's your why? What makes you show up on days that you're tired, that you want to do it, and if you can remember that on the hard days or on the days where you don't really feel like it, then that's what's going to help you persevere and push through. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's why is different, but if you know what that is, then it'll help you put things together like this and want to do more. And I think we've assembled the Avengers of thrift and vintage and art, and as we grow, we're gonna continue to find. Down goes the sign.
Oh, the sign fell.
It's okay.
That's all right. We'll keep it rolling. It's live TV. We'll continue to find those people and bring them in, because I think they all deserve a platform to talk about why they started what they started.
I think the theme today with all of our guests has been having like a creative mind. Right?
Yeah.
Talk about being creative with whether it's photography, whether it's the brand, the business. Talk about just having a creative mind and what that means to you.
Yeah, man. I think creativity is subjective, right? It's what you think, what you think it is. So for me, creativity can be, an idea. Creativity could be an action. Creativity could really be anything. And for me, it started with, getting dressed. You know what I'm saying? At a young age, I always was conscious about what I put on.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean I matched all the time, but it was intentional. Like, I'm gonna wear this, or my grandmother and my dad's side of the family's from Florida, and if you know anything about the South, they get dressed to the nines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Church clothes, all that type of stuff. So
they're gonna show out.
They're gonna show out. They're gonna show out. So it came from that. Growing up in New York, I lived in New York for a short time when I was young. And that's what it's all about there too, is fashion and just
that's like
expressing yourself through what you have on. And New York's known for Timberlands and Averex coats, and back in the days like Air Forces and Uptowns and that type of stuff. So kind of your identity through what you have on. You know what I'm saying? But it's also a means of being creative. Like how creative can you get with your fit?
Yeah.
If you have like two of the same pieces as somebody else, how do you make that look different? With how you accessorize or what sneakers you got on, hat, do-rag, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it started for me, and that's always been a real important part of my life is creativity. So I danced when I came up. I played instruments. I was in a band. I was in an orchestra. I was in the choir. I was in everything. Just trying sports. I played sports for a long time in college, a little bit professionally, but basketball.
I was going to ask if you.
Yeah, I went to ASU for a year and I went to NAU for 4 years. Graduated from there. Thanks, Bo.
That's great.
So. As long as I can remember, just having a means of being creative, and most recently it's been the photography, and I've been fortunate enough to meet some real dope people and work with dope people to help that keep going. There's my son, little Mike.
Special guest Julius Randall.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Little Coy in the building.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, it's one of those things that I would say that I always want to have in my life is some outlet of creativity.
Yes, sir. Last question from me. What's the plan with Market The Ave going into the future? What are the goals?
Oh man, we want the convention center, man.
I'm telling you.
We want the convention center. We honestly want to grow this to something that people are waiting on, and just the anticipation. That's why like now we're just trying to keep it down to like four markets a year. You know what I'm saying? And make each one intentional, make each one count.
And I think it's good too because it builds that, when you have it often, it becomes regular to a lot of people.
Right.
But then when you have it, ever so often, it builds up that anticipation. You know what I mean? People are like, when's the next one? When's the next one? I got to.
100%. There's people who do it well, like shout out Pickers Playground, Phoenix Vintage. They do an awesome job it's sustainable for them to be able to do it every weekend, every other weekend. That's a great model. You know what I'm saying? We'll always show love, but our model is going to be a little different, where it's just less a year, maybe 4 times a year. And then we'll have a couple pop-up events. We'll always try and service the East Valley just because we think there's a need here. But yeah, like we said, the goal is the convention center, and we want to be like Thanos. I keep getting these Marvel references, but I got the Infinity Stones. We feel like we can come together and kind of put one of the hugest events on with everybody that kind of already does it. That's the goal.
One thing that I like about what you guys have is diversity too with different brands. Like we talked to bro that had the rugs. That's something different that you don't normally see at a market like that.
Right. Yeah, it's intentional, man. Everything like we have an open registration, meaning like there's no application that exists as of now. So anybody who wanted to sign up could. But we're intentional and we're behind the scenes. We send people messages. I know it's probably not often for a lot of people that do that, but we're in people's DMs. Like, hey, and it may sound like a generic message, but it's a message that was calculated, and we go through people's profiles. We see if they do events, and even if they don't, like Nastro, who does the rugs, his first market was us, our last market.
That's what he said.
And that was just off the strength of jumping in his DM, like, hey, bro, we're having a market. He was our first sign up. Didn't even think twice. So everybody that you see here received the DM from us. The conversation was intentional. It was a little dialogue between us and answering questions, just because as a new market you have to kind of deal with those expectations and reservations that people may have. But I think we've done a good job of that, and at that point it's just about putting on a market that you can be proud of and that people can be successful at.
Go ahead, shout out your personal Instagram, shout out the Boy You Late Instagram page.
No doubt.
We appreciate you having you on, bro.
No doubt, man. Yeah, y'all can find us. I'm gonna give y'all a couple Instagrams. My personal is MJ Dunn 2, M as in Mike, J Dunn 2. Obviously we got Boy You Late, that's boy_you_late. That's sneakers and streetwear here. That's a brick and mortar store here in Chandler. We got Market The Ave. You see it behind us. That's just at Market The Ave. That's going crazy. We're going to have a bunch of content going up. And then one more is my photography, MJD Photography. So you can follow me on that too. Follow these guys, man. Teed Up Podcast. These guys doing God's work out here, man.
Yes, sir. Man, that's a wrap from Market The Ave.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to John Swan. Shout out to Boy You Late Vintage.
Yes, sir.
This was a great event.
Put it on for the whole of Arizona, man.
Yeah, man.
And this is just the beginning, bro.
Here, man.
Nah, man, I'm glad y'all could come, man. I like the, we got a little setup feel at home now. Got the little yellow couch, so I appreciate y'all coming out for real.
Definitely tap in with Mike if you need some photography. Check in with his page, bro.
Yes, sir.
Like, subscribe,
comment.
Thank you for watching another podcast. This is Teed Up, and we're out.
Sir.